So we've got Phoenix, Emily, and Mike, Linkin Park on Up From The Bottom Success, talks new music and tour. Let's do this. From one day ago on Billboard News.
Oh yeah, that's who that is. That's her. He's like, dude, really? She's so good. Like, I knew I recognized her from somewhere.
And I kept thinking to myself, this only happens once. Enjoy it while it's happening as much as you can, Emily.
I don't know what the charts were. I give a fuzzy idea of what they were, almost like a vibe.
Can we just get to the interview and not these little things?
Billboard's not doing vibes. Billboard's doing numbers, right?
What's up, guys? This is Jason from Billboard. I'm here with the one and only Linkin Park. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us, for sure.
They're wearing the same hat. Anyone else notice Mike and Phoenix are wearing the same hat?
Just put out Up From The Bottom, new single. It's been a couple months since the album. What has it been like having the song out in the world, seeing the fan reaction?
It's not exactly the same.
Being
Come on,
picked up
guys.
by radio, hitting the charts. What has it been like?
I think it's been
day in the life.
Emily's super jaded now. She's just so used to it.
A couple months later.
She used to be.
Feels like years.
She was so down to earth in the beginning.
We poisoned her. I blame me and Mike. I think for us, like in this whole process, even going back to the record coming out, like I don't ever want to take it for granted that people are going to be interested in what we're doing or automatically on board. With Up From The Bottom coming out and people being interested and excited about it, I think it's like, it's exciting, it's special, it's new, and to be releasing new music at this stage of our career is something I didn't know 100% for sure that we'd be able to do, so it feels great.
How did this one come together?
It's unusual for us to be like writing and putting out new songs while we're touring.
Yeah.
We usually don't do that. Did you guys ever do that?
Except for all of Meteora.
Yeah, like write and put
Not
out a
all
new
of
song in
Meteora.
the middle of a tour cycle.
Putting
It's
out a
weird,
new
right?
song, though, no, that is
different brain.
very different.
Yeah,
It's like,
you have
it's
to
hard
really
for me
switch
to-
gears.
yeah.
Of the new tracks, meaning like we put out From Zero, and then now we're putting out the deluxe edition has 3 new tracks.
They
and Up
fixed
From The Bottom
Mike's mic.
is the first single. That one we started writing it, I want to say like it was the end of last year, and did it in between, dates, in between tours, or tour legs. It kind of came together pretty fast. Like it was.
I think it's like
of the 3, it's
capturing
one
the
that was
energy of the
written
live
last
show.
and finished
They're like, now we know
the
what
most
it's like to
quickly.
play on stage.
It's kind of
and
fun having
we know
that
what
like
we
shorter
need
momentum.
in the set.
Like I feel like it's like, I don't know, if I was like 15, that's the only thing I would ever know. That's like how people do it these days.
Yeah.
But like we're so meticulous and like, work on things for so long that it's very different for us to put
Fixing
something
things that have already been
Thanks
fixed.
so much.
People have not heard Unshatter. I can confirm they kick ass. Congrats on those. How did they come together?
Well, Unshatter was one of the first ones
Yeah,
that we did.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like way back.
What do you remember from that? Because I think we all probably have different memories of like how that song came together. And by the way, we were really still getting to know you when that
Yeah.
song was coming up together.
I think that was like a batch of 3 of the songs that we did. at the
Interesting.
beginning.
That was the one that we
Iris,
got
thank you.
screamed on.
Yeah.
And we were like, whoa.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, and that's when Colin was like, is that the one that he was like, it sounds like the singer for Dead Sarah. And you're like, oh, that is.
Right, he didn't know. You guys
Then I
hadn't been
started
put
screaming.
together. That's
Interesting.
right. Okay, so
I think that was the song.
This is why I asked that
Colin
question, 'cause it's
didn't
like
know
stuff
who
I
it
completely
was.
forgot
Yeah.
about. I brought Colin into some sessions. I maybe had brought Emily in on a session or 2, but she was like newer to like the process, and we weren't telling anybody Linkin Park yet.
And then Colin was just
we were
like,
just like, let's just work on some music.
That's the singer
And
from
so
Dead Sarah.
Colin was in the room.
that's so sick.
And Em started screaming on the bridge, and he said she was in the other room singing, and he said to me in the control room, "Oh, you know who she sounds like? Is a singer from Dead Sarah." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's who that is. That's her." He's like,
That's
"Dude,
hilarious.
really? She's so good." Like
I picture
I
Emily,
knew
like,
I recognized her from somewhere.
Picture Emily like popping out from behind a curtain and like, actually, it's me. I did it.
Confetti.
It was so funny. I was like, oh yeah, but I loved that his reaction was like,
Oh shit.
Oh, that's how I recognize her. She's really good.
What about Let You Fade? You're like in control on that one, in the lead.
That one was really interesting because it started off as one kind of not as loud kind
What
of
song?
vibe.
Yeah.
It was a little more.
Is this a song we
I
haven't
don't know,
heard?
the demo was there was something cool about it, but it wasn't there. And then we tried like a piano and vocal version.
Yeah.
And we did the whole song piano and vocal, almost like an album outro was kind of the vibe. That is what you hear on the bridge of that song.
We
So
haven't
the
heard
song
Let You
starts
Fade,
really
right?
loud
All right, that's going to
now
be the third one.
and continues through the
Okay.
second chorus just up the entire time. There's no like, it doesn't let up. And then in the bridge, it comes down to a piano and vocal thing. And that piano
They're telling
vocal
us
thing
so
was
much
the
about this
second
new
demo.
song.
And so like, yeah, the way this song that came together was very different from in our like history of writing songs. Like I'm always excited when a song, like we can do something different. The outcome is different, or the like process of making it is different. Like that was definitely one that was very different. And I think of the three, I hate to say, like I know this like kind of like leads people a little bit, but it's probably my favorite of the three.
Yeah, me too.
These three, and even on Shatter too, like that was a song for me very early on working with Emily where it's like, oh, we can do that like now. Like Emily can do that and that fits and works, and like that opened a whole door of a bunch of other things that came after it that we were able to figure out really quickly or make work for the album. Whereas on Shatter, we still kind of like had to tinker with it and figure out how to make that present itself in the best way possible.
How many discussions have you guys had about more songs, more studio time? Obviously, this year is going to be really busy with shows, but
Like from going from here
Yeah.
into the rest of the year.
yeah.
I mean, we're thinking about putting a little home studio in the bus, so.
Yeah.
Like the old
I mean,
days.
we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it going. I don't know. I don't imagine we'll be releasing more stuff this year.
Yeah.
That's just to like manage expectations a little bit because we are going to be touring really heavily.
Yeah.
We've got US
To
dates and
Australia?
Europe dates, and then US dates again, and then Latin American dates this year, and that's going to keep us very busy. We'll when we've got some free time.
But this guy never stops, though.
I
Well, that's
don't.
why
Never
I
stops.
asked.
He has
says
never
that
stopped.
now,
You guys are
but
always
he'll
He's literally
tinkering
never
with stuff
stopped.
and thinking about things and seeing where things fit. What was it like putting together those set lists for the September shows? And because just from my experience as a fan, you guys packed so many songs from so many different eras.
Oh, cool. I'm glad that's how you felt.
Well, and just, like, I'm not expecting to hear, like, Thousand Suns is, like, a personal favorite. I'm not expecting to hear, like, Catalyst and Waiting for the End in 2024.
Waiting for the End has become
I got
such
both.
an Emily song
I was at a
live.
show where you guys played Keys to the Kingdom. Just song after song after song, going through all the eras, mixing in the new songs. Like, what was it like just kind of piecing those set lists together?
I think we should play 4 hours.
Let's go.
The answer would have to be, I would imagine, so different from Emily or Colin versus like me or Mike. Because I was thinking about it in regards to that as well. And it was, they're playing long sets. It's from a ton of different albums. In addition to that, there's like, I don't know, we're drawing from, if we're playing 30 songs or to make up a number, we've still like had to rehearse or figure out 40 plus that are going into that. And I'm always thinking of it in my own head where it's kind of like, okay, these are the 3 new songs that we're playing, and then everything else is like stuff that I need to go review and touch on. But Emily's over here just being like, what is going on? Like lyric-wise, everything else, just trying to keep organized. Okay, we've got...
Oh, you guys, when you play this one live, you don't play it like the album? Cool, thanks. We changed the bridge, we changed the outro. It's
That
an entirely
happens.
different
You'll
intro.
get it.
That
yeah,
happens,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a
fine.
natural. Like it feels.
They've been slowly
But it
making
is.
Is there a
changes
YouTube
over
video
all these
of
years.
you guys playing it this way? No, it's like there's pieces from different eras of the band. Like some of it's 10 years ago, some
And
of
that
it's 20
happens.
years ago.
But
Yeah.
then some of the videos I've watched, there's like 4 different versions.
Exactly.
Which one are we playing?
I think I've
Which
heard
one?
one.
Yeah, the intro is the first
new one.
version. the bridge is the second one, and the outro is brand new.
Colin had so much, I wouldn't say stress, because Colin isn't a stressed guy really ever, but so much stress over Bleed It Out, and the fact that it's like, at one point I was having a conversation with him just saying, I don't think we've ever really played it exactly the same twice. It's always,
That's
and
hilarious.
sometimes that's on purpose, sometimes not, but it's like when you get to the outro of it or whatever, it's a little bit more, malleable. And he was kind of like, all right, we'll
What?
just you had to get comfortable with the idea of we'll just see
In such a
where that goes, see
highly
what happens.
Fuck it, we'll do it
tight
live kind
Yeah.
of vibe.
But
performance.
it's
It's
a real
crazy that they
compliment,
still
I
do
think,
that.
to Emily and Colin both, that they're always just, all right, like let's do it. Like we'll figure it out. I'm here for it. Like I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
It's been, you got like,
Yeah, and I nail it every time.
That's actually true. That's actually true.
What is it, Mike and Dave, what was it like September 5th show, and then going into those first couple shows, just the outpouring of emotion from longtime fans, because, you know, this was an enormous thing for them.
you know, it's funny. I was just reflecting on this a little bit this weekend. I'm a person who sidelines like stress and anxiety a lot, but it's probably only because I'm not good at dealing with it. But then later on, I deal with it. And so a lot of that has been sidelined up till now. And I'm just now feeling like some of this stuff that's just, oh my gosh, like my body's telling me like, oh my gosh, we've been through a lot of stuff in this last
Yeah, they have.
6 months to a year to whatever. Of just restarting the band,
You know what? God, Phoenix gets me sometimes. That 100% happens, hey, where it's like you just go through a lot and then all of a sudden it's just like, whoa, really think about everything that we've just been through lately. Like, and you just got to unpack it over the next couple of months.
uniting and connecting with the fan base, but also like internally and individually probably reconfiguring like how we are and all of that also. So it's been a lot. You know, it's been a tough journey in some regards in that space, but it's like it's so rewarding and it's so what I want to be doing. Like I don't want to speak for other people, but it's not all just like high fives and rainbows. Like it's been a process, and I think that I see that in the fan base as well. You know, I see that journey that, you know, they're on with us in some regards in the whole process, and I think it's a pretty special thing.
I think the old fans' reaction was like people who were excited for the band to come back and liked the new thing and just like have been so over the moon. Like that's the best thing you can hope for, is to have the people that were hoping that oh guys, get this right, and then we do it and they're like, you got it right. That's very rewarding. Also, I have daughters, and like having them see Emily and be like, whoa, she is so cool. They say this all the time. She knows this already, but they're like, Emily's so cool. They think she's the coolest human on earth.
I can't hear it enough, though.
Yeah. But they're like, Dad, you're not that cool. She's very cool.
That's very funny.
And I
I
love
knew.
seeing that reaction in person with them, because it's very, it's what you hope for as a dad. You're like, I want them to be cool. Like, I want them to have good, like, examples, like role models of like what is, you know, strong, confident.
It's like
cool
Harper
That's the
with Courtney
soundbite,
LaPlante.
by the way.
The last time I saw you guys, it hadn't been announced that you were part of the band yet, and then a couple weeks later, you know, you make this grand reveal, and then you're playing arena shows. You know, alongside
A lot
these
of
guys,
giant
and
steps very
going through all
quickly.
these songs, and like all these cameras are on.
Zaxby's,
you.
I'm going to do it in the morning.
Was that daunting? Were you just like, I can't think about it that much, and I just got to be in the moment? Like, what was those first few shows like for you?
I mean, as much as I wanted to think and process it, I just couldn't. It was a lot, you know. I knew I had one job, and just don't fuck up. Just do your job. And I think that's what kept me grounded. And of course, the band. You know, it's like it's its own. It's a family. You feel very, very safe in that. And if that's all you have, that's everything, you know? So just being able to just be, you know, sometimes I felt out of my body a lot of the times, especially in those shows. Like you're there, but you're not there. You're just like this, like, again, you can't process it. So it's just, you know, it's every feeling you could possibly have, and the best.
Name 41. Just as a streamer, you never say that. It's just like, this is like, hey, if you don't like the thing we're watching right now, leave, is what you're saying. Like, please don't.
Of it.
Because what if I've
And
got
so
a list of songs on the side
so
over here that I'm going to do
so-
after this? Which I do. You know?
And I kept thinking to myself, this only
Can't
happens
speak for the
once,
streamer.
Enjoy it
Yeah.
while it's happening as much as you can, Emily. As much as you can. I know, and that was the only way I could
What if I've promised to listen to 3 or
Just
4 songs
learn
and I've got
to-
them over here on the side?
accept it,
I remember even, before the shows, like you guys described yourselves as like protective, like big brothers kind of. Does that still feel like the vibe?
Exactly, yeah, absolutely.
I definitely, I feel like it's not just us being protective of Colin and Emily. We're also
Damon, thank
we were
you.
we were telling them that because that's how we are with all of us, like with each other. Just when there's any kind of, I don't know, things that are stressful or adversity or like things that are just hard. 24-hour travel day is hard, with like canceled flights or like being stuck in a place and you're kind of like at the mercy of whatever is happening around you. All that stuff, we've got each other to like lean on, and it's not, I think that's like galvanizing or like makes us stronger, makes us a better band to have to go through those things and like have each other's back.
The Emptiness Machine was the band's biggest chart hit in 15 years.
Some of those things, by the way, I had to like look back before today. I was thinking like, I feel like we did really well, but I don't know any of the like numbers, like any of the stats or data or whatever.
Again,
And even
they've
when
been
I went
so
back, I was
busy.
like, that
So-
can't be right.
That's crazy.
These things, like these numbers are crazy. Like the actual like data on, oh, this was our first number one, like pop number one in Germany. We did number one in the UK. I was like, oh, I completely forgot. I think the Emptiness Machine on one of the US rock charts was number one for like
Misspelling.
weeks.
Months.
Hard,
It was
hard
20
rock
20-something
songs.
weeks.
Yeah.
25, 24?
I'm learning all of
Did
this
you-
in real time.
I had to-
I did that. I did
Well,
like
I'm gonna
last night. I was
ask,
like 2
did
nights
you
ago. I looked it
prep
up.
to come to the Billboard office? You were like, I'm going on. I'm
I just
starting the Billboard
it was
charts.
like what Dave was saying. So that was part of his like, oh, we're talking
Mike's
Billboard.
answer is
Like I don't
yes.
know. I don't
so
know.
interesting.
I don't know what the charts were. I give like a fuzzy idea of what
Sure.
they were, like a almost.
I
like
love
a,
our
like a
cock
vibe.
music.
Look at a vibe for what they were. That's not Billboard's not doing vibes. Billboard's doing numbers, right? And I'm like, okay, like I should like look at the numbers and be like, have an understanding of that, I guess. And also it was what Dave was saying, which is when you're go,
Yeah.
you're not absorbing as much. And so when we're
Damon,
on, when we
we're
have
done for a quest for
downtime,
tonight. We'll
it's
be doing
been,
more
like, spring
on
break.
Monday.
like I had some downtime to like do a little reflecting and like think about some things. And that was one of those things like, oh, I didn't absorb that at the time. And I started like absorbing it and being like, that's crazy. Like it's not a vibe, it's a fact. Like there's some of the reaction to the music has been the strongest reaction to anything we put out in like 4 or 5 albums.
Yeah.
Like 15 years. That's
Monty, thank you.
intense.
I'm curious, like, in terms of you guys returning to the music industry after a couple years away, and are already from the last album in 2017, the industry feels so different in terms of just
Yeah,
marketing
actually,
an album,
that's
releasing
insane.
songs, releasing video. Like, did it
Yeah, if
feel
I
like
have
a
to do
sea
one
change?
more TikTok dance, I'm telling you, it's like it's so exhausting doing all
I'll take it
all
over.
this content. She's always dancing. Just put the camera on her. I'm just like, for me, it's a chore. And the cooking videos, like, I'm just tired of having chef reactions, like react to my video and tell me how bad I am.
He's not talking about me. He's talking about the
I'm gonna do
cooking.
makeup tutorials next.
Me too.
Stop biting my style, dude. That's my thing.
I know.
I love
Hey,
doing
man, thank
stuff
you.
with the fans where I know we're gonna play with them a little bit. Like we're gonna play with their emotions or their expectations. And I mean, you think back to like when we launched everything back last year, the first thing was a countdown timer, and this thing has become a notorious moment in our band's history because they didn't know that the album was called From Zero, and so we basically did this countdown timer that went to 0. And they were expecting a new thing like to happen at 0, and it bounced, and it goes to 0, and then it goes up to 1 and 2 and 3, and then they were like, "Wait, the thing we get is to wait more? Like what does the count up do?" And they didn't realize until we like actually.
Well,
put
of
out the
course.
album,
How would
like,
anyone
the album
realize?
title. It's like, oh, it was the name. That's the name.
How would anyone
Our whole
realize?
fan base still has like PTSD. And you put up a timer on anything,
Yeah.
and they're like,
Sorry about that.
yeah, they're like.
Have you guys been enjoying like all the new memes and like the fan art and all that stuff and that's being created online?
I've never seen so many GIFs of the band as the ones I see of Emily at this point. Like you're a.
GIF
I'll
Lord.
be texting with friends and then they end it with a GIF. I'm like,
Oh my
what
God.
of me?
Oh really? Of you? Just like
Like
boom.
a dance one. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh my
It's
God.
so funny.
I like the two-faced one.
The two-faced ones are good.
Yeah.
The dancing on stage ones are very.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even remember doing
love
some
them.
of these dance moves, to be honest.
These unnatural moves just
You don't
happen.
even realize how many moves you
No.
got. You got a lot of moves.
I'm like, I don't move that much on stage. People are like, are you stupid?
Have you seen the internet? Where, like, there's like literal proof of all the moves.
You guys are gonna see thousands and thousands of people on tour in a couple months.
Hopefully.
Come on. What message do you want to
They
give
bought
them?
tickets. I mean,
did.
I hope they
gotta
show up.
Yeah.
I hope they show up.
In this economy?
What message do you want to give to people who
That's
are,
a joke,
who have
but
been waiting
it's
for this
serious.
tour and who are waiting for these shows?
We're going to a lot of
Like she said, a
spots
funny joke, but
that
that's
we
actually a
haven't been to
serious
yet,
thing that's
obviously,
happened.
in this last couple months, but additionally that we haven't been to in a long time, even looking back. So this is a great opportunity for us to kind of connect with some different places where we might have never played. So that's always exciting and fun for us. It gives us the opportunity to just, see some new faces, play for some new people that have never been to a show.
Yeah, I can't
one
think of
ours.
the last time we went to like Raleigh
Yeah.
or Grand Rapids. Like it's been a minute.
We haven't even been,
Raleigh,
like, there's a lot of
birthday.
spots
I know
like
how to say
Nashville that we
Raleigh
haven't
now.
even
There you
played
go.
in forever. That's just the US alone. But I think that that's always fun. Like that's cool to.
If you're watching this on
be
YouTube
able
and
to
you
do
think
some
I'm
different
sleepy,
things
it
in
is
different places that we haven't done before.
15 minutes past midnight, and we've
I'm
been
looking
streaming for
forward
almost
to that.
4 hours.
Yeah,
I'm
beautiful
sorry.
time of the year.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There you go, guys. Last question. Do you guys have a favorite like Billboard moment or achievement? Billboard Music Awards.
Yeah, talk about us for a moment.
Topped charts. You've topped. Emptiness Machine has been weeks at #1 like we were talking about. Do you have something that
Literally all of it for me.
whole thing?
It is very.
The whole thing.
It's been a lot. It's been very overwhelming. I agree. It's a lot.
Billboard
lot to be grateful
set
for,
themselves up to be
which is what-
heartbroken then.
Where I'm coming from.
Do you have any favorite memories
I think
of
too, for
us?
me, at this current moment in like music, and we talked a little bit about the industry and that kind of thing, it's so difficult to judge how or if things are landing with people. I think one thing that I do appreciate about Billboard is that there's still a space where you're getting a version of data that's telling you what is working, what people are listening to or where they're landing with what you've released. So
Phoenix just nailed
in this
that. That's a get out
most
of
recent
jail.
version of what
card
we're doing,
right there.
I've definitely appreciated that.
This has been great, guys.
It's been okay.
Yeah, this is fine. This has been fun.
That's
First one of the day.
So
Oh,
funny.
Finally.
I'm exhausted. Are you
Yeah,
exhausted?
so exhausted. What an exhausting day.
I'm just getting started.
Jason,
take it.
jeez.
Oh my god. The dryness of their sense of humor is fantastic. Monty, yeah, the media training right there.